Hello, good morning everyone. Hope you're all doing well. We are live and alive on today, Monday the 3rd? Is that? The 3rd of March. It's March already. It hasn't got any warmer in London anyway. It's bloody cold. I'm just looking out the window. It is frosty and chilly. 0 degrees outside, according to my PC. Dreadful. But we have some hotness for you all today. Ooh, that's a nice little segue. And meows. Don't worry, she's coming. Hello, you're late. We started without you, darling. Come on, come say hello. Meow. Come on. Oh. She's playing. Sorry, cat's playing hard to get. Today, we are talking about some spoilers for Marvel's Spider-Man. We had a first look over the weekend. Don't worry, we still have 6 months. Come here. Come here, we're live. Come on, Mary, come on. Good cat, come on. Good fishy. Come on. People only come to watch you anyway. Come on, hello, don't worry. Cat is here. Alright, sorry. Back on track. Today we're looking at some spoilers and some product for Marvel's Spider-Man. This doesn't come out until the 26th of September. Alright, go have your breakfast. That is over 6 months away. Love that. And also, there's only like 3 other sets in between now and then, but I'm assuming they're paying a lot for the IP, so, you got to get the hype train rolling as early as possible. But yeah, we've got to look at some cards, we've got to look at some interesting news, and we've got to look at some cool artwork. So let's have a quick look. So you have, obviously, is it Titular? Is that the name of the character? Yeah, the Titular Spider-Man on screen here, looking very nice. One thing they have announced as well, let's just start on this. Let's start on the bad news before we start on the good news. Again, this is Amazon. You can buy stuff from wherever you want. I'm just using this as an example because Wizards are putting it on their own website. Yeah, it's more, the booster boxes they've already announced are more expensive. We have the bundles and the scene box that we'll get onto in a moment. But just coming out the gate, love to see it. Booster boxes, 30... This is just the combination of buggery as far as I'm concerned. It's a 30-pack booster box, and it's more expensive. Marvellous. So this isn't really a surprise. They announced this with the release of... or they announced that Final Fantasy was going to be more expensive. This booster box is the same as a Final Fantasy booster box, which is more than an Aether Drift booster box. So let's actually just go to shop by expansion. Let's get up. So here we go. Tarkir is the next standard set that hasn't been released yet. This is $164 according to Amazon. Spider-Man is going to be $209. Again, according to Amazon, prices will fluctuate. This is just the example of the MSRP that Wizards have given. That is more expensive. We might as well have a quick talk about this. I think this sucks. Like, not just from a this is more expensive point of view, but just like, I kind of feel a bit like I've had the rug pulled from under me, if that makes sense. Because they announced end of last year that prices of product was going back. Or, sorry, they announced the MSRP was coming out. Hooray, love knowing how much things should actually cost. Then they announced that prices were immediately going up. And that was what we expected. Then we had the announcement that all of the Universes Beyond sets were going to be standard. So everyone quite naturally assumed, maybe wrongly, but because we were told that standard booster boxes were going to be this price, the cheaper price, the price that Tarkir Dragonstorm is, it means that, yeah, when they announced that these sets were more expensive, that kind of sucked. And the thing, so Magic obviously doesn't, so Wizards of the Coast don't really acknowledge that the secondary market exists at all, basically. But, well, they don't directly do it. The way they actually do it is by pricing product based on power level. So, like, things like your standard set is the cheapest it's going to be. Then you have, like, or you used to have things like Lord of the Rings, things like Modern Horizons. Those would be the next tier up. You then have Masters Packs, which are even more expensive. And then you have collector boosters, which are shiny and kind of a separate thing. But from a play point of view, that was kind of how it went. the fact that these are standard power level and they are more expensive feels off kilter with everything that's come before it. It just feels like a cash grab. I mean, there is a world where just the diff where that extra $40 or so is just going to Marvel for the license. I mean, I would not be surprised by that. But to an extent, it's not like... Yes, they still have to do the artwork, but they don't have to do any world building with this stuff. Like, the IP already exists. There's definitely ways that they like some universes beyond will be like there will be an initial outlier of cost because they have to pay for the IP. But on other ones, there will be ways they save money as well. They don't have to hire people to do like lore or work out any of that kind of stuff. They can just take flavor directly from the source material. Not that they should keep hiring people who do magic stuff because they're awesome, but it's kind of like these are ways that in theory the costs should not be like for every pro things cost more expensive, there's a world where things can be taken off. So the fact that these booster boxes are more expensive just really sucks. The fact that they're also effectively shoehorning 3 of these into standard now. Having booster boxes being more expensive will generally lead to cards in them being more expensive, at least for the first print run. There is a world where just Spider-Man is opened at such a rate because it's Marvel that it will it can keep costs down. But just like from a baseline point of view, booster boxes and booster packs being more expensive means that slightly less will be opened in theory, so that the singles are going to be more expensive, and that doesn't make standard cheaper. If these are going to be legal for longer now. Standard's now a 3-year rotation. That it just means that kind of like it's going to make standard more expensive, which is kind of not an ideal thing when they're trying to get people to play more standard. And it just means that being honest, this kind of price rise means it's unlikely I'm ever going to buy a pack of Marvel Spider-Man. Just being honest, I could see myself, a hell of a lot of Dragonstorm. I'm here for this. But just, like, outside of pre-release, because despite everything I say, and, like, my opinions on IPs, it's probably still likely I'm going to be doing things like pre-release, because pre-release is awesome. Do pre-release if you haven't done one and you're considering doing a pre-release, do a pre-release. It's the best Magic thing out there going. It's kind of like you go in wild and you just get to get some cards and get to play some games. It's awesome. Cannot recommend it enough, but outside of that, I'm probably not going to be buying any Spider-Man. But that's me. I mean, we've only seen a couple of cards, but let's just go through and see what we have. So that's the product. Let's start off. That was the negative. It's all upwards from here, I guess. We're swinging ever upwards. So we've had the logos and we've had some bits revealed. So one of the weird things with this is, so we have our general Magic the Gathering Marvel Spider-Man crossover set symbol. Then we also have, they sort of spoiled it that this is not one set. It's 3 sets. So we have the SPM expansion symbol, we have the SPE expansion symbol, and we have the Marvel expansion symbol. Nice and simple off the bat. We love that. So, SPM, which is this one, is the standard legal set. These are cards that are going to appear in the standard set, in the draft set, in the booster boxes that we... in the respects that we just saw. That is standard legal. This set symbol is going to be, wait for it, Eternal Legal, Commander Legacy, and Vintage. So this, in theory, is just going to, like, there's a world, like, when you see this doesn't mean, like, that they're going back on the standard sets being legal. This is all ancillary products. So this is, like, this would be the Commander decks, if there were Commander decks. We'll get onto that in a moment. But there's going to be things like the scene packs that also will show in a sec. Marvel expansion, no idea what this is. Magic the Gathering, Marvel Spider-Man Playbook contains. It doesn't actually say where you can open these. I'm assuming this is that's going to be a secret layer. The secret layers from last year were this one, I believe. So good, more secret layers coming. You would assume, no, it says it's a set. Let's go down. Hello, meow. Oh, now you come back. So what were the cards from last year then? Never mind. All right. So these are the 3 set symbols we're going to get. This is the one for standard set, this is for commander, and this is for something else. The reason why I said that this was a bit weird is because they've announced there isn't actually any commander product. Let's actually just go down. So they've announced that there's going to be play boosters, collector boosters, bundles, and scene boxes. Actually, let's just scroll down because we have them here. So we have our booster product, as we expected. We have our fancier booster product, as we obviously expected. We have our bundles, as they do now. Nice little Carnage versus Spider-Man fighty there. Is it Carnage? Venom, sorry. Apologies. And then the Spidey Spectacular Showdown scene box. So this is similar to what we saw in Lord of the Rings. You know, the scene boxes. You have the 6 pictures that make the panorama. Very nice. We love that. So this is where we'll get that alternate symbol. We then have the welcome decks. Welcome decks are fun. So everything else we've seen before. Welcome decks we have seen, but not in a hot minute. Welcome decks are effectively ways to onboard new players that isn't Commander. I wonder if these are free. Probably. Did welcome decks used to be free? Is there a price on these? We'll get to the cards in a minute, don't worry. I wonder if the welcome decks are free. Welcome decks used to be free. Or for a new player event. Okay, because the 230 card decks, or 2 card decks that max welcome prize, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, if you're looking to get, like, this is effectively for kids. I mean, they are still... welcome decks and intro decks are still great at... for very new players, for getting you onboarded. I do think Commander is a better product, even though the learning experience is way more complex with Commander. So just showing people the rules, these are perfect for that first, like, hour when you're explaining to them if you don't have Arena available to you. But, like, for kids and for new players, which you will get with Marvel, I do think it is smart that they are bringing a bunch of, like... This is a way for, like, kids in a game store to be like, ooh, I want to play Spider-Man. And then the parents can just pick up 2 of these or 1 of these, and then they can play with them. That's pretty good. That's a great way of getting the kids in early, you know. Got to get that addiction nice and young. And then we also have the pre-release kits, obviously. Again, as I mentioned, this is probably the main thing I will be doing from the set. And again, good to see here that kind of they're not doing the Khans thing where you get random theming. It's just 6 packs and a promo, and that's everything that we need. Hello, small cat. Good to see you. So that's cool. So the cards we have spoiled are from this scene down spectacular box. So these will not be standard legal. They will be Legacy, Vintage, Commander legal, and also Cube legal. And so I guess from this point of view, we'll be looking at these from a Commander and maybe Cube adjacent view. So let's have a quick look in. So here comes the Spider-Mans. First up, we have Grasping Tentacles. It is 1 blue and a black for a sorcery. Target opponent mills 8 cards, and then you may put an artifact card from that player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So, in Commander, I think this is tricky, just because you're not guaranteed to get anything. I think it's like, just because of the abundance of, like, mana rocks. Basically, with this card, like, don't do it against the mono green player because all their ramp is going to be on rampant growth effects, so you're most likely not to hit something. But obviously, if there's an artifact deck at the table, which you can't always guarantee, this becomes way better. But just generally, like, there will be 2 to 3 opponents. There'll be at least 2 opponents in a Pod of 4 who are just running a non-green commander deck, and you can use this to steal like it's 3 mana to get an Arcane Signet, that kind of thing. That's the base level for this card. I think for Commander, I'm not super fussed by this. I could see this in Cube, actually. If you are in a artifact-heavy cube, artifact-heavy environment, where you know players are going to be having this, it would be a bit sideboardy, but it could be cool to go get their Blightsteel Colossus from them. Because also the deck's smaller, it's only 40 cards in draft. I think I could see myself testing this maybe, or at least considering it in Cube if I was doing like a steal your opponent's stuff, like mill style strategy, because like 3 mana to just, goodbye again, 3 mana just mill 8 cards, we can do better, but The upside, there's a very high potential upside on this card, but I think the average use case is in Commander, you get a Mana Rock. In Cube, you play it in your sideboard. It might struggle because of that. Next up, we got ourselves a Venom. And also, with this, so we're going to be showing a Venom here, we're going to be showing a Spider-Man here. If you don't like this Venom or Spider-Man, do not worry, there's going to be multiples. There's going to be a bunch of Spider-Men and a bunch of different heroes from all of this set. Similar to Lord of the Rings, there's going to be at least like 3 or 4 of all of them. There could be a world where there's like 20 Spider-Man, that kind of thing. All different types. You're going to have at least like 5 Amazing, all this kind of stuff, so don't worry. But this one is Venom Deadly Devourer. It is 2 black and a green for a 4/4 legendary creature symbiote villain. It has Vigilance, Menace, and pay 3, exile target creature card from a graveyard. When you do, put X+1 counters on target symbiote, where X is the exiled card's toughness. Interesting. So, this is sort of Scavenge, sort of on a 4/4 Vigilance Menace body. It depends how much other symbiotes they are, to be honest with you. My gut is that they've worded it that way because there will be more. Like, there could... I would assume the creature types on all the Venoms are going to be the same, so all the Venoms are going to be a symbiote villain, so you could build probably a cool Venom-themed deck. You just jam all the Venoms in, because I can't... What else is a symbiote? Are there any other symbiotes available? Let's have a look. Symbiote? Oh, it's a creature type. We obviously have changelings and shapeshifters. I know that. Creatures that are every creature type. They will now all be symbiotes. So, if you're doing a everything deck, like with Morophon or that kind of stuff, then this could be fun there. Because it doesn't say your graveyard. Exile target creature... Oh, no, it does. It literally... Oh, no, from a graveyard. Exile target creature from a graveyard. So that's nice. It being a bit of graveyard hate is quite cool. Yeah, I think this is fine. Obviously, yeah, I'm not sure if this is one for Cube. I think this is one for Commander, just because 4 mana 4/4 Vigilance Menace is fine in Cube, but this doesn't super synergize as much as I want with archetypes that go in that strategy. It's more just 3 mana to do this. It basically means you need like a big thing in the graveyard. Like this isn't like Scavenging Ooze. Scavenging Ooze is just more efficient, even though it's 1 mana to exile one thing, and you might get a counter. That you're likely to just have 1 mana floating around all the time, whereas with this, it's like this is what you are doing with this card. You are paying 3 mana. You are planning on putting big things in your graveyard, or them naturally being around. It's more likely in Commander that there are naturally just going to be big things there. So seems fun in Commander. With Venom, that's where we are. All right. Ooh, we have a Green Goblin next. We have Green Goblin Nemesis. It is 2 black and a red for a 3/3 legendary creature, Goblin Human Villain. Good to see it does have the Goblin subtype. It has flying, and whenever you discard a non-land card, put some counter on target Goblin you control. Whenever you discard a land card, create a tapped treasure token. So this is cool. Is this a Madness deck? Is that kind of thematic with the character? I like this. I love, so similar to a bunch of the cards in Aether Drift, I love that this is whenever you discard a card. There's no once a turn drawback on this at all. It's just, yeah, this seems good. Like, obviously you can put it in like Nekasar and stuff, just to give yourself a way of winning that's not Nekasar, like you're doing the Wheels deck. I like as well that this doesn't need to be in a Goblin deck. That might see it get more play than just outside of Commander. Like, that for Cube, if you are doing like the wheel discard thing, but you don't want Shield Druid because of power level, that's quite fun. Or if you are just doing just generally like a discard matters deck, again, with Madness, that's pretty good. Just having thick cards that benefit you just naturally from when you are doing your discarding is going to be fun, and is better. I quite like Green Goblin, actually. I think this one's cool. I like the idea of just like, yeah, just this and a bunch of wheels. You don't have the blue ones, which is still fine for Commander. Like having red is at least better. There's plenty of ways of like, even like Faithless Looting will just give you that additional bit of value, and just, yeah, letting you just like when you are discarding stuff, when you are rummaging, if you are flooding out, the first thing you're going to be getting rid of is your lands. So the fact that you can do that and turn it into treasure, so you can then ramp yourself the next turn, or cast another spell and make this even bigger. I quite like this. I'm kind of here for Green Goblin. I don't think it's not going to be like a world beater, but it's a nice solid card, and just the fact it doesn't have a once per turn or anything like that holding this back, I'm kind of here for this. This is a cool power level. We are okay with this. All right, swig of tea, and then crack on. All right. Next up, we have Doc Ock, Evil Inventor. This is 7 mana, 5 blue and a black for an 8/8 legendary creature, human scientist villain. With, at the beginning of combat on your turn, target non-creature artifact you control becomes an 8/8 robot villain artifact creature in addition to its other types. So 7 mana is a lot. I don't think this gets there in. This could get there in like a lower powered level cube, maybe a budget cube, where you're trying to do an artifact deck that isn't cheating in Sundering Titan or Blightsteals. But like, I don't hate turning like a Thopter token into an 8/8. That's pretty good. I do like that. The issue is that this is. I mean, I understand. Hold on, why is it? Like the octopus. Yeah, I get the Doc Ock part. It's an 8/8. It makes 8/8. It is 7 mana. I mean, either make it 8 mana or make it actually castable would be my personal preference on this. But I think it's just too expensive. That's my gut on this. Like, it not being an artifact itself, I understand why from a flavor point of view. But like, if I'm playing this in like Cube, I want to be able to tinker this or Goblin Welder this, then I would like it more, because then it's an 8/8 I can cheat into play that animates something else of mine into an 8/8. I was also target non-creature artifact. So you have to have... that's so many hoops. Because just like having like a Thopter token or another creature you're going to have in a lot of games, but this means that you have to be running treasure. And like, I know there's plenty of stuff that makes it now, but it's just an extra hoop. I don't like this Doc Ock. I'm hoping, like, again, like this Venom is okay. There will be another Venom. This Green Goblin I actually like. This Doc Ock I'm not super here for, if I'm honest with you. I don't think it's great. Hopefully another one in the set. And yeah, there'll be mythic versions of all these cards as well. But we have another 6 months to get those, so don't worry. All right, we have our first Spider-Man. Let's get this chap big. He's here, don't worry. Here we have the sensational Spider-Man. It is 1 white and a blue for a 3/3 legendary creature, Spider-Human Hero. Whenever it attacks, tap target creature defending player controls and put a stun counter on it. Then you may remove up to 3 stun counters from among all permanents. Draw cards equal to the number of stun counters removed this way. Interesting. So, I believe, let's scribble this, a stun counter will still tap it down. What gives out stun counters? A bunch of these do, but there's one card in particular I want to look at. My one and only preview card. Oh, this one. Let's just have a look at this one for no reason whatsoever. Tap it. So the stun counter doesn't tap it, but something else has tap. So effectively how this works is you attack, you can tap down one of their blockers, and it can either stay tapped for a turn, or you can draw a card. I think this is alright. This is like flavor-wise, I'm here for this. There's a commander that cares about. There's you. I thought there was like a there was another commander that cared about stun counters, I think, from Eldraine. The Frosty Lass. I can't remember her name. I think this is cool. This is fine. This is not going to be the most powerful Spider-Man. There'll be a bunch more. But like from a flavor point of view, I think this works pretty well. Yeah, it comes in. It attacks. It taps him down. It does the thing. Like. This is good ability text. It's good top-down design because I can literally imagine the character doing it as I'm reading the card. So when he attacks, he goes pew, 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 taps down. I won't do that again. I apologize. Taps down target defending. Taps down a creature. like it goes blah with the spider stuff. Then, if you wanted to, you can you can break them up to punch them again. I don't know. Like I can picture the character doing that as it's coming out. So that kind of does work quite flavorfully. And I do like commanders that draw us cards. If I'm honest, this seems kind of more annoying one-on-one than in Commander. I think, like, just one-on-one, like in Cube, this could be cool. It's not going to get there in, like, Legacy and Vintage, obviously. It doesn't have Ancient Tomb mana. But, like, this is quite cool. There are enough stuff with stun counters now that you can get some additional value from it. So let's actually do it in the proper colours. How many? You're not going to run all 46 cards here. But there's some cool stuff in here. And there's more stuff in Final Fantasy coming out. Stun counters are a new thing they are doing now, just to kind of give blue some interaction that isn't bounce or removal, that kind of stuff, so you don't have to recast things. I think the Spider-Man is solid. I think from a flavour point of view, I'm going to give this like a 9 or a 10. It works very well. But from a mechanic point of view, probably like a 5. I don't know. I've just apparently come up with my own rating scale for this, but we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I think the Spider-Man's cool. Yeah, we like it. All right, let's move it on. Let's make them big, actually. That seemed to work quite well. Let's go to Pumpkin Bonds. This is 1 and a red for an artifact with tap, discard 2 cards, draw 3 cards, then put a fuse counter on this artifact. It deals damage equal to the number of fuse counters on it to target opponent. They gain control of this artifact. I think this is sweet. This is like... I think this is really cool. I like the kind of gameplay mechanic of like cards going back and forth. Like in Commander, this is awesome. It's a 2-mana artifact that lets people... that gives people card advantage, and then it starts throwing around some damage. This is kind of... I can really get behind this in Commander. I want to play this card in Commander. I think that's cool. One-on-one... It's kind of a bit like... There's the black mana rock that... Like Wishclaw's Talisman. The black one that kind of like... when you tap it, you can search for a thing, but then your opponent gets it the next turn. This is kind of like the red version of that. But it deals with like rummaging and then discard. So that card is very broken and is normally a combo card because the game normally ends the turn after you do it, so your opponent doesn't actually get to use it. But with this, I think you'd be like, if you're in a red deck, are you not just fine running this out? 2 mana, pitch 2 cards. If you're doing anything, again, if you're doing discard, if you're doing madness, or any kind of deck that is fine with things going to the bin, this is really good. Like, discard 2 cards and then dredge some back. I am here for all of that. And then just giving damage to your opponent, like. So you will get it back when it's tapped, but kind of like, it'll deal 1 damage to you, then 2, then 3. So you are always going to be, unless it's literally killing you, you're going to be up on the damage because you get to decide when to give it back to them or when to give it to them. I really like this card. This is a card that kind of like, I hope isn't expensive. If this card is like 20p, oh yeah, if you can only get it in a scenic set, then it's probably going to be a bit more expensive. But like, if this is like £1, I would be tempted to add this to one of my cubes. I think this is cool. If you're doing any kind of discard mana stuff, then I think it could work there. Maybe Canadian Highlander play. Like, I don't know. Discard 2, draw 3 is very strong. People can do stuff with that. I mean, we don't have Bazaar of Baghdad, but we have this now. And it kills them. Love it. I wonder if there's... Because it's all one ability, I'm assuming you can't untap it and respond to it. I have no idea. That's one for another video, but that seems cool. I'm really here for Pumpkin Bonds. And yeah, that is... And then here's the lovely panorama. We see all 6 of the cards. Yeah, it was just the 6 cards spoiled because obviously, again, the set's 6 months away. There's 3 other Magic sets in between now and then for us to get released and spoiled. But I think that did the job. Like, so we have obviously the poop sandwich of... Oh no, hold on, it's a reverse poop sandwich. Is it a poop? Is it pizza? How does this work? Is it poop, taco? Is it soup? Is this poop soup? Let's not talk about that. It's too early to talk about that. But in terms of, we have the negative of the set being more expensive, but some of the cards, again, I say this all the time, and I think this is a healthy way to go into cards with, like, from Universes Beyond, especially if you're not here for the IP, is that if you don't like the flavour, that's fine. But, like, as a Magic player, you can get excited about cool cards. Like, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Oh, hello, wifey. Good to see you. Good meowing. Sorry, I didn't recognise the picture for a moment, and then it's like, oh, wait, that was the cat that's here a minute ago. Lovely. Good to see you, darling. Yeah, I think Pumpkin Bonds is good. Sahar, question for you. Could Pumpkin Bonds see Eternal play if you're still here? Let's see what she says. Well, we're waiting for the response. Let's have a see if there's anything else in this article. Yeah, we've gone over the product. Again, so my gut would be that in Collector Boosters is where you can also open the Spectacular Spidey Showdown, because I'm assuming there will be more of these as well. Like this is just one that they've released. One thing that you won't have noticed, or you might have noticed, there is no Commander product. They did an announcement where, this was in an earnings call, where they said that, this wasn't in this announcement. It was in an earnings call with like the CEO of Wizards or Hasbro or whatever, where they announced that with Disney's Marvel Spider-Man, sorry, we've had an update. All right, Pumpkin Bonds may be in Painter because you can weld in response, but I need to check the interaction. That's cool. Ooh, I love that. Okay, yeah. If you can do cool Goblin Welder stuff with this, I mean, Goblin Welder doing stuff with the Goblin Bombs, that's pretty vibey. Okay, cool. Right, Pumpkin Bonds, vintage playable according to the wife. Perfect. Love to hear it. Thank you. But yeah, so they announced that there is no Commander product coming specifically with this set. We'll go into my opinions on that. So from every point of view, I don't understand that decision. So there are two reasons why they might not have done this. One, which James mentioned on the Powerful Nothing podcast, new episode live. If you like Cube, go check it out. But basically, he said that there is a world where there's so much stuff they didn't have time to make the Commander decks. Like R&D are just so in the mines trying to get everything working for all the sets coming out this year. Here, they just didn't have the time to do it, and I could see that. I could imagine that's why there's only 2 Commander decks for Aether Drift, for example. If they're paying for this IP, it comes out before Christmas too. This comes out in September, so it's going to be in stores for Christmas. I don't think they're going to leave that money on the table. I think it's more likely that because we have the different set symbols, I reckon that... So we're going to get the standard set, we're going to get a bunch more things like this, the Eternal product, and then, because it doesn't say here, Marvel expansion logo. These are Eternal codes, but it doesn't say here where we're going to be getting the cards or what these cards are. My gut is we're not going to be getting a Spider-Man. And again, I could be completely wrong on this, but but it's a Monday morning, let's make some wild predictions. My gut is that there's going to be other Marvel Commander decks. So rather than a Spider-Man specific Marvel, so rather than Commander deck specific for this Spider-Man set, we're just going to get 4 Marvel Commander decks at the end of the year, or at some point. That is my kind of gut with this, because they're just leaving money on the table. Like the worst case scenario is that this is just okay, we're going to just print some more Secret Layers at the end of the year. That's how you can get your Commander deck. You just have to buy it from Secret Layer. They could do that. They don't want them to. That would suck. But they could. But I don't see them finishing the year not releasing 4 Marvel-themed Commander decks when they have the license. When they're literally making all the mechanics. Everywhere they talk about it, they know Commander is their most popular format. They know how successful this set is going to be. Like they don't need to make the Commander decks for the set to make money. It's going to make money. People will buy it. But people will also buy Commander decks. Like the Commander decks won't take away money from the main set. It will only add to it. So while there's nothing released yet, I would stand by on that one. I reckon we're going to be seeing this is a multi-year deal. There's going to be so much product for this. At least from the first look, there's a card we can get excited by. I think Pumpkin Bonds is sweet. And from a flavour point of view, I can see that all these do work from like a top-down design. That is cool. We love that. But yeah, I can see myself personally trying Green Goblin at some point. And Pumpkin Bonds, yeah. Okay. Retraction. Not vintage playable, apparently, but legacy playable. Good. We'll still take that. That's cool. That's vibey. Like. Yeah. Pumpkin Bonds coming to Eternal format near you. I'm assuming this means it will This won't be like Warhammer. These will be on Magic Online, I would assume, pretty easily because they're standard sets anyway. All right. So that's going to do it for today. Thank you all very much for watching. Do make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll be back tomorrow. If you have any ideas of deck takes, I mean, we could build Spider-Man. We could just build Spider-Man tomorrow. That might be a shout. If there's anything you'd like us to build, do let us know in the comments, all that good stuff. Yeah, enjoy your days, everyone. We will see you all soon. Goodbye.